Hi, it's Andrew Benson from XP Team USA. Today I'm going to be doing some dump digging. So this episode is going to be called Dump Digging with the Deus. Now, when you go to a dump, there's a few things that you're going to want to have. Let me go over those real quick here. So, first thing you're going to need is a shovel. Just like a regular old garden shovel. If you want to use a metal detector, which I'm going to do today, I'm going to use the Deus. You can use your ORX if you want, and I'm going to use the 9.5 by 5 inch HF coil to get in those, in between all that trash. Then the next thing we got here, you can use boots if you want. They're probably a good idea. Got a little digging tool where you can get some stuff out of the sidewall of the dump. And then another thing is a screen. Now this is one that I had a friend make. It's made out of, obviously you need a welder to put this one together, but it's basically made out of square tubing and got a 1/4 inch, well it's 1/2 inch screen mesh. And I've seen a lot of people that have sides on their screens. I don't like sides, and the reason why is because once I get done screening this stuff, I want to be able to just tip the screen and have the stuff go off without any problems. The ones with the edges, you get it all caught up. You have to actually turn the screen all the way over, and this one's got legs too. I see a lot of people using them where they're just a model where you you know, you hold them or try to set them up on something, maybe a sawhorse or something like that. But anyway, there's 3 methods to digging dumps. We'll go over those once I get over to the dump and explain each one. Okay, here I am in front of the hole that I'm gonna, or somebody started a hole and I'm gonna leave off on it. So what we got here, this city dump dates from about 1870 to probably the 1950s. You can see it's pretty deep. You can dig in the sidewall for stuff. Take a look at some of these bottles that have already been dug out over here. Put this shovel down. So you can see we got lots of tin bottles. These are all screw tops, so we might find another area. Might want to find another area of the dump that's a little bit older. This is an old soda bottle of some sort. Somebody left. You know, you can't take all the bottles home, but this is a fairly big dump. Now I was talking about different methods of digging dump. First method is you only dig for bottles. So you get down in here, get some of these tumbleweeds out of the way. And you would just dig in the sidewall for full bottles. Let me get this little tool. You know, just dig like this and go through this stuff and try to find full bottles. Dig real careful around them when you see one that you think is going to be full. Another thing I forgot to mention that you might want is a dust mask. It can get fairly dusty. So that's method number 1. Just dig for bottles. Method number 2, which I'm going to use somewhat today, is when you get into these lower layers that are older, you don't have as many tin cans and things, so you can use a metal detector. So what you do is spread out your dirt, go over it with your metal detector, try to pick out coins, tokens, stuff like that. Third method is the screening method, and that's where you want to get it all. So you dig for the full bottles, you get a bunch of waste down here, then you get your screen, throw it in your screen, and you're looking for everything. Marbles, porcelain doll parts, coins, tokens, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna look around here a little bit, see if I can find a place where I want to start, and then I'll be back. Alright, so if I'm digging for just bottles, I'm just going to take it easy, kind of digging out these sidewall, this dump. you know, you're gonna rake some stuff out. There's an old, looks like that's a piece of metal. The way this dump is newer stuff's at the top, older stuff's at the bottom. So I kind of want to work my way down to do the serious screening, but basically like to use my pick to kind of dig through here and get some of this stuff out. Keep my eye open while I'm going for full bottles. I mean, it's pretty dangerous digging with a pick like that. I'm honestly not that worried about bottles until I get down in this lower level. So I'll pick that out. If I get down in this lower level, if I'm in a hurry and I don't want to screen, I'm going to spread this stuff out. And then I'm going to run the metal detector over it. So I'll do that in a minute here and show you how that works. But let me get some of this dug out. Okay, so I got this dug out a little bit. There have been a few whole bottles come out, but they're nothing special. This one's got a screw top on it, so it's probably 20s or 30s. But so what I've done is spread some of this stuff out here. Then I'll take my detector and go over it, looking for clean signals. That sounds pretty clean right there. So it's like I had it and threw it down. That might just be a piece of tin, but still got it. Okay, so it's whatever that is. Looks like a piece of lead. But you can sit and do that and pick. You know, if you're in a hurry and you just want to find the coins, you can just sit and look for those real clean signals. Okay, so once you get a bunch of stuff in the bottom of your hole, if you want to really get everything, you're going to put it on the screen. Get a pretty good load. And then unfortunately I gotta climb out of this hole to work this, but good. So I'm gonna spread this around looking for anything good. Keeping my eye open for things that are round. Marbles, coins, tokens. Some people like doll parts. You can find pipe bowls, all sorts of stuff. And once you've gone through it, and what you can do is just tilt this sideways and dump it all off. I'm not going to dump it back in my hole, so cleans off that easy. So that might be a full bottle there. Yep, but it's a screw top, so 20s or 30s. Another one right there. That one's broken. Some sort of a glass tube. So there's the bottom of the floor right there, so got a good sounding target here. There it is. Oh, that's not it. Alright, so that is another piece of lead. But you can see that this can be pretty effective if you spread it out. A bottle of screw top. See, there's another full bottle right there. Fortunately, that one's got a screw top too, so might end up moving to another part of the dump. Okay, I spied something around when I was digging around in this dirt. Didn't get it with the detector, but I just looked down and saw this. I think it's a button. Yeah, I think there's two buttonholes right there, so an old button. That's another thing you're looking for in these dumps, are buttons. So that's not bad. Something else I did find that's kind of interesting is this here. Looks like something was up here, broken off. I don't know if that was for, almost looks like a big pipe bowl, but I doubt that's what that is. Had something there, so I'll put that button in there and let you know if I find anything else. Okay, so I've decided to move. This pit that I'm in over here looks like mostly household garbage, and from what I've noticed in the past, you seem to find more doll parts, marbles, buttons, stuff like that, which is kind of what I've been finding there, versus looking for someplace in the dump where, like a business dump. Particularly, I'm looking for something like a bar or a saloon, and that's going to be indicated by whiskey bottles. You can go look at the piles that other people have left and see if you've got, you know, whiskey bottlenecks and stuff. And so I've found one right over here that looks like that. Okay, so notice over here on this pile we've got more whiskeys and beers. You know, this is whiskey, beer, whiskey. You know, they're still from the 20s and 30s. Looks like there's a ketchup bottle there. So, more likely, this is going to be where a business dumped at one point. Now, the thing that's nice about a business, particularly a saloon, is a lot of times they put sawdust on their floors, and when they cleaned up, they swept the sawdust up. If anybody dropped a coin or a token, you got a chance of finding it in there where they dumped. So I'm going to move over here. Just wanted to mention one other thing. So the town that I'm outside of right now was big in mining and railroad. Now another town, not this one, but one a little ways from here that was heavy railroad, had a heavy railroad influence. I found a railroad lock in one time. I jumped down in somebody's hole that they'd been digging, and there was this chain hanging out of the side right where they left off, and I grabbed onto it, pulled it out, and it was a railroad lock. Now, a lot of railroad locks are common, but this one wasn't. This one was from a little known branch line that ran down to the coal towns in Utah, and I ended up selling that lock for $2,000. So you just never know, you know, what you're gonna find. So let me bring everything over here and we'll get going on this hole. Be back in a minute. Okay, this new area is starting to look a little bit better. The dump layer is deeper, and we got older bottles. That's a cork top. It's probably still from the 20s or 30s, but it's getting a little older because I was just finding screw tops. Like a piece of wire. And then I've dug up a few ketchup bottles, some broken Coke bottles, and whiskey bottles, whiskeys and beers. So I think this is more of where a business dumped. It should be better. And I'll dig around here a little bit. Now what I've been doing recently here, I'm just digging this hole out and going over it with the dais. And anything that sounds like that, I am looking for. clean sounding signal. Probably should have some gloves on, but it looks like that might be that. Well, anyway, it's getting too deep to be anything good, I think. Plus I need gloves, so I'll keep digging here a minute, get the screen. This is one thing I did find that the Deus picked up, big old piece of brass of some sort. Looks like probably a handle piece went in there or something. This bolted through wood. So I'll let you know if I find anything else. Alright, so I've spent a couple hours here. I haven't really found, you know, anything that I would consider good. You know, I'm basically looking for tokens and coins, which I haven't found any of those. This second hole I dug got pretty deep. I mean, I'm in it now and it's probably 5 feet deep. What I've been doing, I've just been throwing the dirt out and detecting it with the Deus, looking for coins and tokens. But I think I'm gonna move up. There's a ghost town about 15 miles from here. I think I'm gonna head up there for the rest of the day. I've got a couple hours to spend there, so get up there and see if we can find anything, and I will see you in a bit. All right, up here at the ghost town, had to put the sweatshirt back on. It's a little cool up here. Climbed up to about 6,600 feet, and there is snow on the ground. As you can see, it's patchy, but it's a little bit breezy too. So this town is from 1875 to about 1885 was when most of it was populated. It was on and off after that. There's a big mine over here on the hill that was mined for silver, and the mine collapsed in 1885, and so a lot of the town moved away at that point, but they made attempts to reopen it in the early 1900s, 1930s, and they still do some exploration up there today. So I'm going to hunt around here on top of the hill right now. I think the school was sitting up here, and a lot of the residents were up here, and then the main street was down off the hill there a little ways. But I'm going to try up here for about a half hour, see what I can find. If I find anything, I'll turn the camera on and we'll dig it together. Yes, pretty clean sounding. Reading in the low 80s. See what we got. Now it's starting to sound a little rough. Well, there it is. It's round, but I don't think it's a coin. Yeah, it looks like a snap off one of those canteen pouches or something. But anyway, it was brass, so good sign. All right, got another nice, clean sounding signal. Reading up at 88. I'll get that out of the ground and show you what we got. Alright, that ended up being a lamp part. So another piece of brass, sounded good. See what else I can find. Never heard machine gun iron. This is what it sounds like, and this is the way typically a lot of these western ghost towns are. Of course, you can set your discrimination up, you know, to alleviate some of it, but it's actually a good sounding signal right there. But just nails littered everywhere. Gonna go back and see what's see what that signal is, and I'll be right back when I get it up. So this is kind of neat, and you usually find quite a few of these in ghost towns, and that's what it is a harmonica reed. Sometimes you can find a patent date on them, but I don't see anything on this particular one. But I will leave that there for someone else to find. Alright, a fairly good sounding signal here, and came up with this. I think it's just looks like something just decorative. Piece of brass of some sort. Yeah, not sure. Probably a decoration off of a, well, it looks like a face there. I hold it in the light right. It looks like a woman's face with her hair behind her. So I'm not sure what that went to, but that is pretty neat. Alright, headed back to the truck. Got a good signal here. I've dug a bunch of, I just didn't film them all, pocket knife pieces and 5 or 6 reeds, harmonica reeds, and things like that. I got something round right here. Not holding my breath that it's a coin or anything, but yeah, and it's not. Looks like the bottom of, well, I don't know, something brass with a little nipple thing on it, but looked like it could have been a coin. You just never know. It's got to dig it all, so I'll get back to the truck here in a minute, about ready to leave. I mean, these ghost towns are just, audio fatigue just gets bad after a while. It's good to take a break in the middle of the day, but I've been going all day, and but I'll see if I find anything else between here and the truck, let you know. Okay, I am done. Didn't find any coins or tokens today. Found typical ghost town junk. Like I said before, harmonica reeds, pieces of pocket knives, a few suspender buckles, things like that. Most of it I just left here. Let some, you know, I usually just put it on a rock, let somebody else find it. I have so much of that stuff already that I, you know, don't want to just keep filling my cases up with the same old stuff. So good day though, nice to get out. Weather was great. It was a little windy, but it's in the 40s, so that's a lot nicer than it's been in Salt Lake lately, so it was good to get away. But so I'll see you next time on another adventure. Get out and go to another ghost town here soon. Thanks for watching.